Hello students, myself Rakesh Kumar Meena, Assistant Professor at Government College Rajgarh, and I have made this video on the poem Christabel written by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. In my previous video lecture, we have seen that Christabel finds Lady Geraldine in a dark forest at midnight, and she brings the lady with her at her castle. During their return journey from the forest, Christabel assures Lady Geraldine that her father, Mr. Leoline, will help her for safely escort back to her father's house. And in this video lecture, we will start from line number 112 of the poem Christabel. And Coleridge writes here in this poem, she rose and forth with steps they passed, that strove to be, and were not fast. Here gracious stars the lady bleached, and the speck on sweet Christabel. All our household are at rest, the hall as silent as the cell. Sir Leoline is weak in health, and may not well awakened be, but we will move as if in stealth, and I beseech your courtesy this night to share your couch with me. In these lines there are some difficult word meanings, and which are strove to be means try to be. Gracious stars means good fortune. At rest means are asleep. Cell means a small room. Beseech means request. In these lines, Coleridge says that after talking with Lady Geraldine, Christabel suddenly stands up, and both tries to walk fast, but due to tiredness and fear, they cannot. The gracious Christabel thanks her lucky stars, and in this way continues her speech. Christabel says all the members of her family are enjoying peaceful sleep at this time. The hall is as silent as the underground rooms there. Her father is keeping bad health, and it is therefore not proper to disturb him at the time. She says, we shall move very noiselessly and stealthily. I beg of you to be so good as to share your bed with me tonight. Christabel requests Lady Geraldine to share her bed that night. Further, Coleridge writes in this poem from line number 125, they crossed the moat at Christabel, and Christabel took the key that fitted well. A little door she opened straight, all in the middle of the gate that was ironed within and without, where an army in battle array had marched out. The lady sank, belike through pain, and Christabel with might and main lifted her up a weary weight over the threshold of the gate. Then the lady rose again and moved as she were not in pain. The difficult word meanings of these lines are: moat means a deep ditch around a castle for defense. Straight means at once. Might and main means with all the strength. Next, weary weight means a dead weight or a burden. Threshold means doorstep. And the explanations of these lines is that Coleridge says that both Christabel and Lady Geraldine crosses the ditch that has been constructed round the castle. Christabel uses the proper key and at once unlocks the door that lay in its middle. In order to make the door stronger, steel has been used on both sides. In the past, a regular army drawn up for purposes of war had marched out of this gate. Just as they are to enter into the castle, Geraldine, who is so long, walking slowly and laboriously, sink down on the ground, as if she is in pain due to extreme exhaustion. The poet here hints at the superstition of the Middle Ages that evil spirits may not enter a house without help from a mortal. With all her strength, Christabel lifts Geraldine, who is like a heavy weight, and take her across the threshold of the gate. As soon as Geraldine crosses the gate, she began to walk, all with ease, as if she suffers from no pain. Further, Coleridge writes in this poem from line number 135: so free from danger, free from fear, they crossed the court. Right glad they were, and Christabel devotedly cried to the lady by her side, praise we the Virgin all divine, who hath rescued thee from thy distress. Alas, alas, said Geraldine, I cannot speak for weariness. So free from danger, free from fear, they crossed the court. Right glad they were. In these lines, the poet wants to say that Christabel and Geraldine crosses the courtyard of the castle. They are glad that at last they are free from danger and fear. Then very religiously and sincerely Christabel says to the lady by her side, thanks to the Holy Virgin Mary, who has freed you from danger. In reply to this, Geraldine says, alas, alas, I cannot speak, for I am tired. Thus, free from danger and fear, the two ladies are glad to have crossed the courtyard of the palace. Geraldine is an evil spirit. So like Christabel, she cannot pray to Virgin Mary. Hence, instead of saying Amin to Christabel's prayer, she only said, I cannot speak as I am tired. Further, Coleridge writes in this poem, outside her knell, the mischief old lay fast asleep in moon sunshine cold. The mischief old did not awake, yet she an angry moan did make. And what can ail the mischief bitch? Never till now she uttered yell. Beneath the eye of Christabel, perhaps it is the owlet's screech. For what can ail the mischief's bitch? And the word meanings of these lines are that mischief means bitch, ail means trouble, yell a sharp cry of horror, screech means howl, echoes means resounds. And the explanations of these lines is that the two ladies, Christabel and Lady Geraldine, passes by the old bitch, which lay fast asleep outside her nail in the cold moon sunshine. She do not open her eyes, but when Geraldine passes by her with Christabel, she make an angry howling sound. What could be her trouble that she howls like that? And she has never done so before in the presence of Christabel. Perhaps it is in response to the hoot of a small howl. Besides this, there is possibly nothing that can trouble the old bitch. Thus, in these lines, the bitch seems to have been endowed by the poet with a supersensitiveness to the presence of supernatural things, that is, the Lady Geraldine. Further, the poet writes in this poem, they passed the hall that echoed still. Pass as lightly as you will. The brands were flat, the brands were dying, amid their own white ashes laying. But when the lady passed, there came a tongue of light, a fit of flame, and Christabel saw the lady's eye, and nothing else saw she thereby, save the bows of shield of Sir Leoline tall, which hung in a murky old niche in the wall. Oh, softly tread, said Christabel, my father seldom sleepeth well. And the word meanings of these lines are that brands means the pieces of wood burning. Bows means raised ornament. Murky means dark and gloomy. Niche means self-built into the wall. Tread means step. In these lines, the poet wants to say that the two ladies, Christabel and Geraldine, passes the hall very silently and stealthily. Though they walks very softly, yet the hall resounds to their footsteps. There in the fire palace, the logs of wood has all but burnt out. Only a few half-burnt ends lay on the ashes of the burnt pieces. But when Grendile, the evil spirit, passes, they suddenly flickers and give out a sudden flash. In the temporary light thus produced, Christabel sees only the evil glare in Grendile's eyes, and the bright rays knob inside Leoline's shield, which hung on the wall in a dark palace. Christabel requests the lady to walk softly, lest they shall awaken Sir Leoline, whose sleep is always light, who was not in good health. Thus, in this stanza, we have again a subtle suggestion of the presence of supernatural. Next, the poet writes from line number 166. Sweet Christabel her feet doth bear, and jealous of the listening air, they steal their way from stair to stair, now in glimmer and now in gloom, and now they passes the baron's room, as still as death, with stifled breath, and now have reached her chamber's door, and now doth Geraldine press down the rushes of the chamber floor. And the word meanings of these lines are that jealous means suspicious, glimmer and gloom means half light, stifled breath means almost without breath, chamber means room, rushes means mats made of rushes. And the explanation of these lines is that the poets in this stanza give the graphic descriptions of the stealthy entry of the two ladies in Sir Leoline's castle. Christabel removed the sandals from her feet so that no noise is produced by her footsteps. She fears that even if the air stirs a little, it will transmit the least possible noise to her father's room and he will wake up. Thus, with the extreme caution of a thief, the two ladies passes from stair to stair, now in light and now in shade. While passing by the room of Sir Leoline, they held their breath as still as death. Sir Leoline is fast asleep, and his sleeping room is as silent as death. Finally, they reaches the door of Christabel's bedroom. On reaching there, Grandine presses down with her feet the rushes spread on the floor of the room. And with this, it is the end of this video lecture. In my next videos, we will carry on the explanation of this poem. Till then, goodbye. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you.